Part of Alaska or all of Alaska?
As long as the light's not blinking, then you're good.
How about now? That's better. There you go.
No, yeah, you're blinking. Yeah.
Josh and Luke talking.
There it is.
You had to drive 3 hours away.
Right.
And you'll
But the last podcast is good. I like how you guys broke down. I like how you guys defined the definition of words. Did you ever find the definition for the word Lucifer?
No, what's the definition of the word Lucifer, Maria?
I don't know. I was asking you guys. You guys were looking up stuff last time, but I don't know if you ever got around to the word Lucifer. I think Luke said
it means
angel of light.
yeah,
So
yeah, that's what it means. Yeah,
Light?
That was interesting.
Angel of light.
Angel of light.
But we didn't talk about that.
yes, we did.
Wait, the definition of Lucifer? Don't get mad at me.
Yes, because you don't remember things. We already talked
Yeah,
about
Luke, why'd
that.
you get so angry?
Because
This is what he does.
Podcast, I brought that up. I mentioned Angel of Light. I already touched.
Because I actually listened to your
base
podcast.
on this already.
I actually listened to your podcast. Unlike either one of you.
Yeah, I would never listen to it.
Trash. Total trash. But you guys have been doing a good job. The conversations have been interesting. I sometimes get off topic, but I still love it.
Yeah, I know. We always get off topic.
You guys seem really angry at a lot of things, so I like that too.
Who gets angry? Sorry.
We do.
So you guys get me angry about a lot of things.
Oh, get you angry.
I start hating people more and more.
Oh, you're welcome. That's what we try and do.
Oh, we should have had our mic stands. I would have helped.
That's what I was thinking, but I couldn't find them.
What do you mean you couldn't find them?
Do you know where they are?
Did Josh tell you about our newer one we were editing? It's going to be like our second season, it's like with the new audio now. We finished all the old iPhone ones.
I mean, the Halloween episode seems like you guys had a lot of fun with. Like,
Yeah, that was like
the stuff you were doing.
Yeah, that was really easy to do that one. I didn't think it was going to be that good.
Yeah, that's
It actually
my
was. It was
favorite
pretty good.
episode.
It was really good. I liked it.
It turned out very well. You guys went to see the movie No Safe Spaces. How'd you like it?
Maria, we're supposed to be asking the questions here.
It's playing 45 miles away from here. It's not playing anywhere in Philadelphia. It's not playing anywhere in this area of South Jersey.
That's what I thought too, especially because where we are in LA, I thought that they were just not having any things playing. But then I looked it up randomly one day and it was playing for one day only. So you got to like be on it and check it every day, I guess.
That's so weird.
I know. There was no warning or like not a way to get like an email or anything. So if you
Yeah, I
see
guess,
it,
why are
just
you trying
catch
to
it.
cover it? Why are you trying to cover it up so hard?
I don't.
Like, I don't
maybe
understand.
they're not covering it up. I don't know if they have to pay for this movie to be released.
I think
like
that's
if
it.
they have a budget. Let's say I'm giving an example. A budget of $800,000. They are selecting theaters for a certain amount of time. It's not like a movie like Avengers.
Yeah, but the guys
Right.
have money.
Huh?
Like, let's not lie. Adam Carolla has money. Tim
Yeah.
Allen has money.
Yeah, but
Do you know
they,
how much it would
put it out
cost
wherever they
to put
want.
this in movie theaters?
they don't have Universal money or Sony money though.
No one has that. You have to sacrifice like 8 children to get
I know. Yeah, the Adam Carolla and Prager. I don't know. They didn't do that.
Adam Carolla
Yeah.
did have the Man Show, and I'm pretty sure he sacrificed a lot of his stuff on there. I was just talking about that last night. How funny is it? Him and Jimmy Kimmel both came from the Man Show, and they're both like far left and far right.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. It's kind of in the movie too.
Is it really?
Yeah, he says basically he's like the last person that should be talking about something so serious, pretty much.
Because he even said he's an atheist.
Yeah, he said he's more secular.
And he
secular.
said, I thought he said he was still leftist, but he's not radical left.
I don't know. I don't know if
I
Adam
never heard him
Carolla.
talk about anything religious. I've only ever heard him talk about political stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never actually heard him say whether he's religious or not, or atheist or not. But like, even if he is, like, that just shows like mentally you don't have to believe in God to believe that this country's going to hell.
Mm-hmm.
The hell does that sound?
The bees, the California bees. I don't know if he said he's leftist or left, but apparently the
He's
difference.
liberal.
Yeah, there's a
it.
difference
That's
between
it.
leftist and
And
liberal.
liberal, yeah.
And apparently there's a good video on PragerU about the
mentions-
difference between the two.
Leftists
Okay,
seem to be like a regime. They are a radical
Okay.
party. When liberals aren't quite that. Think of it as like I was watching a lot of documentaries. I was brushing up on the research of Mao's China, Stalin's USSR, and also I'm getting into the Hitler one. But like each one, take Mao for instance. He was telling like the people, like, you know what, stand up and go out there to your landlords and just take the land from them. Become these a radical movement. And that's how you change things. And so like that's a part of like a lot. So it seems like that's what the leftist is. They're just a party that is extreme, and they just do whatever they want, and that's how you conquer. But
And that just seems appropriate considering like how they protest and riot. Like they go to that certain extreme of that
Right,
nonsense.
and not even that, they would even go to like not just protest in a front, like in a decent manner. They would protest. They'll beat people up. They'll even kill. This thing is for the new agenda. We have to do this.
I'm trying to think of where the difference would be. A classic liberal would allow the opinions of other people, and I think the leftist, where the protesting and all that comes from, is to silence.
Overthrow
silence and overthrow.
Far away.
Yeah, that's probably where the difference is.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I feel like I would call myself like a liberal conservative with my views.
Maria, that doesn't make any sense.
And Maria, I call myself a black trans.
Yeah, I'm a woman frog. We need specifics, Maria.
Man, no, I was just
I'm
telling,
a man frog. They're turning the frogs gay.
Title, female race. Last night at the restaurant I work at, we had a guy who came in, and another server had him in her section. And they're like, this guy's coming in. He's really proud. He's bringing his 19-year-old girlfriend. He's 52. He's so happy he was able to bag this hot chick.
Wait,
So
know he
really
bought this hot
happy.
chick?
He bought her, basically.
Oh, you
And
know
they're
this for a fact. You got proof.
I'm sorry?
Or is she just hoping that he'll give her money?
He was like bragging about her. So they're like, Heather, you have to be like really happy at the table, be really excited for him and stuff like that. And then Heather's like, but what happens if he tries to order her a drink? Like, I know she's 19. I can't serve them. And they're like, just deal with that when it gets there.
Okay.
So Heather's like, I can't do this. She's like, I can't take this table. You're setting me up for failure. You guys want me to fail. You guys want me to get a bad review. And she's like panicking. So I'm like, Heather, let me take them. Like, I'll deal with this table. Just go away. So we switch sections. I get this guy, comes in with this girl, and he's like, she's going to have a Pinot Noir. And I was like, can I see some ID? And she's like, I don't have any. I'm like, I can't serve either one of you. Because in Philadelphia, you can't serve an underage person if they're with one adult, because that adult might give them the drink.
Right.
If you have like two parents and kids, you can serve them, but you can't serve a single adult with a kid.
Wouldn't that, if they order the drink and they give it to them, wouldn't it be off you? That's not your fault.
It
If
would
the
be on
person
me.
why would it be on you? If you,
It would be my
no,
fault.
the thing is, you can legally serve him. There's nothing wrong with that. If he gives a drink to her,
No,
it's all on him.
No, I think this might be a Pennsylvania law.
I can't serve an adult if there's a minor at the table. And it's just the two of them.
Unless
That's why
it's
the kids can't come
unless
to
it's the
bars.
parent. I
Okay,
think,
if that's
right?
true. No, if that's true. Okay, let's take another example. Let's say there's a mother and father. They're well over age, and they have a 2-year-old son, and they want
Right.
2 Pinot Noirs. Can you serve them?
Right.
that's
Unless it's the
fine.
Why is that
parent.
fine?
That's
Because it's a
fine.
parent. I think that's
it's
the law. That's
wait,
the
you're
law.
saying if you're 18 and over, 18
Look,
before
I-
21, you
I don't
can't
make
do
the
it,
laws up.
right? Because they're considered an
Maria,
adult.
we don't like this law,
No, wait,
Maria.
I want to get this straight. If
I don't make the laws.
wait. If you're 18, 19, and 20, you can't serve the other person, right?
Technically, you're not allowed to serve a table. If it's one adult and a minor, you can't serve the adult with just a minor there. It has to be 2 adults.
Oh,
And then
okay.
let's say you have a table, and they had to be over, if it's 2 adults, it's supposed to be over 25. There's like a whole bunch of weird laws that this place has. And the only reason I know this is because like you can get a $10,000 fine, plus you can be charged with anything that happens to them. Like if she gets raped, I could be charged with
Rape.
yes, I can be charged with
Basically.
#MeToo movement.
You know what this sounds like we have to do? We should just eradicate women off the planet. They're causing so many problems, Najee.
Maria, this is why we need you on the podcast to defend Luke.
No, but it's all a joke. Yeah. It's just all a big joke to me. I don't know.
I'm all for kicking some of these women off the planet. So anyway,
No, of course you, Maria, of all people.
so I just tell him like I can't card them, like I can't serve them. So he's like, well, what the fuck? And gets all angry. I just like walk away. I tell manager. Manager's like, okay, well, you should serve him. I was like, no, it's still against the law. And I was like, I'm not getting in trouble if she gets drunk. And I was like, so you need to you can serve him. I'll take his order. You take it to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually had the GM write up a piece of paper that said that I was not in charge of serving them, Maria Emmons, but that he took full responsibility and he signed it.
And he gave them the alcohol?
Yep. And he went over with a glass of wine and she immediately drank it, like in front of us. And then my other manager said, he's like, we need to nip this in the bud, get him out of here now. The GM is like, no, he spent $400. We need to take care of him. They're our guests, blah, blah, blah.
B.
So they sit.
Guest B.
Stop singing to the pedophile.
that would creep him out. Just go over the B. Guest. Well, anyways,
Dude, it was, that's how far money will go. We'll just look the other way. Like, that pissed me off. So then this guy pulls out a bottle of something and he opens at the table and I'm like, I don't know what he's drinking. I don't know if
It
it's
just
wine.
says
I have no
cocaine
clue.
on the side.
The same guy. Wait, is this the
It's a
same
bottle of
couple? This is
cocaine.
the same couple?
Oh no, they did. They actually did cocaine in the bathroom. We saw lines in
The
the bathroom.
52-year-old and the girl?
The 52-year-old and this 19-year-old girl.
Wow. Good for them.
So they're waiting for 2 of her friends to show up. So they sit in my section. They're there for 5 hours.
Okay.
We find out later that the bottle that he pulled out was a bottle of vodka, and he has been getting her drunk off this bottle of vodka. So I tell
Well,
my
she's
manager,
stupid,
I'm like,
I guess. That's what she wants.
Say, how do we blame different people
You
for
get
this?
what you deserve.
You're at fault for this nonsense. I'm at fault if I give someone a straw. What? Like, you're blaming the wrong people. These laws are
I was
nuts.
like, that's why I had. But like, you can get charged with like a criminal act in Philadelphia if like anything happens to this table. If she gets raped, if they get into a car accident, I can be charged
That's
with
right.
negligence, and I can get in trouble and be served jail time, even though I had nothing to do with it.
But Maria, now you know. Stop doing this to people.
Yeah, all this
monster.
time, you've been giving them alcohol all this time.
Yeah, and you're a rapist.
I know.
Learn your lesson.
That's why
I'm a horrible person.
when
So
people...
anyway, this guy hates me because I carded his girlfriend. So he's giving money to everyone but me. So every time a buster comes over, he hands him a 20. He hands him a 50. He tells one of the busters to grab him a bottle of wine from somewhere and sneak it over to him so he can give it to his girls. The buster does this.
Yeah, so I guess you blew it on this one, huh?
I think you
So
signed
he's
that
paying
paper.
money. I'm like, dude, I hate him. And then he's getting like filthier. He's getting drunk. And he's on the phone with a friend. And there's 3 girls sitting next to him and him. And he's like, man, I'm going to all 3 of these hot ass. Now you want to come join me?
Ugh.
Meanwhile, I'm at my other table where I'm taking care of a mom and dad, a
Good
girl
for
who's
this
celebrating
guy.
her 13th birthday, and a 9-year-old son. So I have a family next to them that are hearing all this, and they're like shocked. And then he comes over behind me, puts his arm around me, hugs me, kisses my head, and throws $100 on the table in front of this family and says, sorry about the noise, guys.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
He sounds like a real sweetheart.
Honestly, do you have his information? Maybe we could get him on the podcast too.
Yeah. I want to know his
I actually found out
tricks.
what he-
Yeah, he sounds like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
Did 100% find out where he lives. I already found out his address.
Can we put these stories on our podcast?
Yeah, I think.
You just gotta bleep out all the names. I didn't use any names.
Yeah.
So
That's
wait,
what we'll do.
so I like freeze up when he hugged me and kissed my head because I thought that was really weird.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, sir, don't kiss me again. I was like, don't touch me. I'm your server.
So
Don't
you
touch
could
me
have
again.
said that was
He's like,
sexual
"Oh."
harassment.
Yeah.
Then he goes, okay.
Or it's 2019, that could be
okay,
rape.
Baby girl.
Baby girl.
Baby girl.
He called me baby girl. So I was like, sir, my name's Maria. Don't call me baby girl. I'm a woman. I don't want to be talked to like this. And he sits back down. Another hour goes by, and they're just sitting there, and his friend joins them. His friend that was on the phone with earlier, and they come over to the table. I come over to the table. I was like, do you want something to drink? Do you need a menu? And the guy goes to hug me again. So I put out my hand, and I'm like, sir, I'll shake your hand, but do not touch me again.
So at this point, there is him, there's this friend, and there's these 3 young girls.
Yes. All younger than 21.
All right, that's their fault. I don't
That's
blame the
their
guys at all.
fault.
They are who they are. And if you want to be with them, that's up to you.
One of the managers, the female managers, followed them to the bathroom to overhear what they were talking about.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, this is what they do for a living. They literally just go out and find gold diggers. Or they're just gold diggers. They go out and find guys that have money,
Well-
and they sleep with them for money.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, they're all
I know. I
horrible.
talked to a lot of women at the place you work. They said they would do the same. It's just money. It's just sex. They're not selling anything, they said. This is what every girl
No, I
said over
wanted to
there.
tell, like,
They don't feel...
I wanted to tell these poor girls, like,
These
go home,
poor
wash
girls.
the glitter off your entire body.
These poor
They're
girls.
so
I would not
stupid.
call them
Are
these
they-
poor little angel girls.
Are they victims in
They're
this? I
so
feel like they're
stupid.
victims to their own beliefs.
Here's the thing. They got everything going for them. First of all, they can have their sex. Second, they can have all the money from doing that. Third, if they want to take it back, they can just say they're raped. It's a win-win.
No, yeah, they're stupid girls.
No, they're
But they
awesome.
think
Right.
this is living
Smart.
life.
They can have the world at the hands from doing
I mean,
this.
yeah, it's smart in the material world.
Yes.
You can have all the material things you want
You
just
lose
at the
your
price of your soul. Yeah, and you're done.
No, they're selling their souls.
Right. And then they'll have depression and anxiety and not know why.
I want to say something to Maria. When you say, Maria, do you actually believe they're selling their souls if they do this?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
pause there. I talked to a few, I'm not going to mention their names at all. I mentioned,
I'm not going to mention Doug and Gary.
I'm not going to mention Wink. No, I'm not going to mention their names, but I talked to a few girls, and they said they don't believe they're selling their souls. It's just if they don't really love them, They're just giving it for money. What's the problem?
Yeah, but they also don't believe they have a soul.
No, they believe.
also
No,
don't believe that they
they're
have a soul.
spiritual.
I think,
don't believe they have
what does it mean? What does it mean to each person to sell your soul? To me, to sell your soul means putting energy out there and not receiving anything. So you're physically draining yourself.
They are receiving.
And it's
They're
leaving.
saying they got money.
Right.
I think you're selling
They
your
receive
soul
the
whenever you
physical
put-
and they lose a
whenever you-
part of them. They
said
lose
they're
their
not.
soul.
They say I'm not losing anything.
That's not
If
true.
you sell your soul, you're basically putting your body and money before your mind, before like how you actually feel about this.
There is a deficit at the end. There's
You're
a
giving
loss,
up-
a net loss.
Basically, this you're giving up
Yeah.
something intrinsic inside you for something materialistic that's worth actually nothing because it fades away.
Yeah, well, one of the girls, she was disgusted. One of the other surfers was like, I can't believe he's out there exploiting these girls. I was like, well, he's not exploiting them.
No,
This
these
is what they
girls
want. I
are
just think-
putting themselves. First of all, they are over 18.
Hold on.
They're getting what they want.
Ooh, God, go ahead, baby girl.
But no, she's going on how disgusted she is. But then when she found out he was handing out money to everybody,
Yeah.
she went over there to get money from him. And I was like, you just hoard yourself out for money. But like, you went over there to get money, even though you're disgusted by how this person is acting. And that was my thing. Like, I hate the girls, but I hate the guy because they're all just disgusting pieces of shit.
Yes,
like
all
they're
of
low
them.
life.
All of them are.
But I know that like had to handle that table, she would have been able to handle it because the guy was being weird and touchy and feely, and I kept like just shoving him away. My woman manager said, "You have my permission to hit him." He's like, "You can hit him." He's like, "I want to kick him out, but the GM won't let me."
It seems like there's two ways to empower yourself, either physically or spiritually. If you're empowering yourself physically, it's through sex, money, and all that. Or you can empower yourself spiritually and learn, educate yourself, and hold your own moral values. Because if you lose the spiritual,
That's definitely a thing that women do is they empower themselves physically because they don't know how to empower themselves mentally or emotionally because they think
because they can't.
I got it now. If you empower yourself physically, then the loss is going to be the risk of the parts of the world that go away, because materialism doesn't last forever. It's temporary. You're putting your value there as opposed to the spiritual realm, which lasts forever. So you really only have these two options to empower yourself in: physical, spiritual.
Why do you think that women, why do you think women choose the physical empowerment option of like makeup and wonder bras and tight clothes?
I don't think we have any leaders, any role models. The option for people not to do that hasn't been seen. Parents don't teach that.
Well,
but there's nothing on TV that promotes that.
There really isn't. Even when they watch girl empowerment, like lawyers, they're still wearing heels and they're still wearing push-up bras and flirting to get their way. And it's like, that's still not empowering anyone.
Right. They're trying to be sexy. I don't know. It just seems forced and like they lost something in their childhood. And that's why they have this demeanor. It's almost like a vengeful behavior behind it. Not all of them, obviously, but...
No, yeah, not all of them. I also think it's funny that it doesn't matter if a girl is raised like by parents or by a single father or a single mother, they still end up wanting that to feel better about themselves by doing this to themselves, by putting their bodies on display.
And the thing is, I can't really give. I couldn't personally give a solid answer because I'm not them. I feel like
unless you choose to be.
Right. Yeah, I guess you got me there. No, I don't really know. I feel like they know, like everybody knows, like when something is not right or wrong, but you're just going to deny it, and then you die. Like you only have so much time
even
here.
know it's right or wrong.
Well, first of all, I do admit, I agree with you. Like they're in the way of like, well, they're not taught. Well, here's the thing. They're not taught these fundamental building blocks for the foundation. But the thing is, even if you talk to them now, they're just going to refuse it because they're just bitter. That's what I mean. But I don't think anybody can change anybody.
No, I don't think anyone can change it. I think the most we can do is like open their minds a tiny little bit.
Right, all you can do is talk, and they either accept it or deny it. And that's all you can do.
Or lead by example.
You can lead by example, but that doesn't mean that they're going to do it just because they watch you. Oh, wow.
Right.
They can hate you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have several of the girls who are like...
you can still make them mad.
They went to hug you and you gave them a handshake. They're like, I wish I could do that, but I can't. I'm like, how can you not? And like, I just let them kiss me even though I don't want it. I'm like, you just tell them no. Like, you have to have a firm no. You can't just say no and let it happen because then they just keep pushing.
Well, where'd you learn that?
I don't know. From my mom, from my dad, from having brothers. I had 2 older brothers. I saw how they treated women. And like honestly, like I saw a bunch of stuff. And I also had a lot of guy friends growing up. So like I knew that a firm no meant a firm no. But if you just like coyly say no, they're going to keep trying because guys will automatically keep pushing.
Right.
I was having this conversation about the song "Baby It's Cold Outside," which I was like, I always say it's like a little rapey. It's a little weird.
It's a lovely classic.
But like,
it's weird.
Arguing with me that that's how guys have to flirt. They're like, no, guys have to push to flirt. They have to keep you because if they'll wear you down. And I'm like, that's not flirting.
One thing
that's
I do think
wearing someone down.
No, I agree. Like that's wrong.
Yeah, maybe it works, but I still think it's wrong.
Yeah.
But it definitely works. The thing is, if you're a person that doesn't push at all, you will have nobody almost all the time. I'm going to put myself an example. I'm going to put myself as an example. I don't usually like doing that all the time, but look at me. I definitely don't push at all. And look where I am. And people say, oh, you have to change because this is why you don't have anybody, because you're not doing what's typical. Mm-hmm. But if I did what's typical, then they complain about it. So what do you want? Yeah, see, this is the thing with women. What do you want? I'm confused.
Well,
I think that a relationship should happen organically. It shouldn't be pushed.
Okay, organically. How does it happen organically if the guy doesn't even pursue in any kind of way?
A friendship that can blossom into something else. Just be honest with your feelings. Like, you don't have to be coy about it.
Okay.
If you just want to get with a person to have sex with them, then you can just say, hey, let's just bang and be friends with benefit. But if you actually have a relationship, you just tell that person, like, hey, I actually love you and I have feelings towards you. Can we see what happens?
But I feel like that's what you do anyway. Yeah. You just talk about people, or you talk about life. It just stays more
like in a friend thing. Oh, this is great.
Yeah, but was there ever a person that made you want to push the extra?
No.
And see, that's the reason.
Because I really don't have anything. And it doesn't go any deeper than just like the materialistic things.
You find out more about them, and then you don't like them in that way, but you can still like them as a person.
It's not even like I don't even like them. I look at them.
I mean, in that way, like more than
the other person. Like, well, I like you.
Right. So it just seems to be very common.
Yeah.
What's out there.
Yeah.
And then there's Maria.
I think. I also think that like overall, people are so obsessed with attraction and whether or not someone's a good look for them than they are about anything that they have to say or think. And I think this is so prevalent in our society more and more with like what I see from people I work with and wait on, that they have no conversation. They're two good looking people and they're just on their phones the whole time. And they're celebrating their 5th year of marriage. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, you guys have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, they're together because they feel like they invested so much time so far. They might as well just stay together. I look at a lot of relationships today. It is people put too much into the physical part of it instead of like the mind or the spiritual part. And you might be able to, if you're lucky, to stretch that out for like 10 years or whatnot, but it always fades because you're both going different ways. Like, I don't understand people that like a materialistic world or they're in the world versus someone that's not in the world. Like, you're together, but you're going to separate. You're going 2 different ways. I can't see how it's going to be connected down the road. I can't see it, but I just let things go. I'm like, well, they're going to learn. And maybe and people say, well, you're pessimistic about it. And I'm thinking, I mean, where you can butt in if you want. Like, I don't think it's pessimistic. I think I'm being honest with the facts.
What part would people think is pessimistic?
Because you're saying they're not going to be together. No, I'm saying like it's mostly likely. I take things very factual. I mean, like in the way of like I look at things symbolically, or I look at things in a mathematical way or mechanical way. Remember I said I do things like that. So basically, it's like it's inevitable. You can't have this spirited or this kind of minded person, and they're all on that road and they are enjoying it. That's great. I think that person should be with someone just like that.
It's kind of 2 different languages. It's like 2 people speaking, like one person speaking Swahili and the other speaking German. They're both saying, I love you. It's like, well.
And like, here you go, Maria. If somebody was, like, take an example. If somebody was in their mind and everything, they don't really care for the way the construct of the world. They don't like being in the world. But someone else does, I like the world and I think it's fine. And they're in a relationship. Where do you think that would end up, Maria?
Where do I think it will go?
Yeah. If those 2 different mind frames are together, but they're both like really nice and it's a great like relation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where would that go in the future?
I honestly don't know because I'm not that kind of person. And I really haven't had that many relationships where I see that actually happening. You know,
you haven't seen people of 2 very different minds stay together, or
I mean, I feel like I think that like if one has a positive mindset and one has a negative mindset, they'll both end up being negative mindsets, and it will destroy their marriage. I've seen that personally happen with in the family. I think that if you have like what is it, the languages of love, isn't that like one of the people that talked about something like that.
The languages of love.
Yeah, like how everyone has a different language of love.
I think you're talking about the Hebrew love. Like there's different.
Some people want grand gestures of love, but the other person's like, that's not my thing. I prefer something small. Other people want to be constantly told that they're loved, where another person doesn't want to hear it all the time. They just want you to show it.
Oh, what? I got to look into this. That sounds really interesting. Is it a book?
It's a way that you show your love. People want to.
Right.
Everybody has a different way. Like, I know what Maria's saying. Like,
yeah, but is this a book or just like a theory kind of thing?
I don't know. It might be a book, but I think I read about it online or like a YouTube video of it. And it made sense to me because like, I don't do grand gestures. I don't do anything romantic. I'm very boring. But my way of showing love is
yes,
like, I'll
you
take
are.
care of you.
Yeah, you're saying I'm here. I'm here. Yeah.
I'm not romantic at all. Like my mother and I, zero romantic bone in her body. But
yeah, me
I'll take care of
neither.
you by like, I'll make you food. I'll keep the house clean. That's the kind like basic things I'll do, and that's my way of showing love. I know other people who need to be touched all the time or hugged or kissed constantly to prove that they're loved. So you can't have two different people like that together because they'll both think they don't love each other.
Right.
Even though they do, they just have different ways of showing it.
That's a good point. What do you think keeps a relationship together?
What do you think keeps it together?
Yeah. Is it those
Honesty.
languages you're thinking about or honesty?
Honesty. Being completely honest, it takes a lot. I feel like that keeps a relationship together. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something to think about. There's no pressure to like answer quick either because we cut things up. So if you want to take your time to think about it.
Well, here's the thing. For it to
And
definitely
it's funny
stay.
because like how you said that, like my mom and dad have been together for years and years and years because like I feel like they actually love each other. So like my husband's parents have been together for years and years and years and they hate each other. So I don't know what keeps the marriage together.
Is it that language you think? Maybe your dad's doing the things your mom likes, vice versa. No, my mom hates it.
No, well, like, it's weird to see that, but like, my dad is romantic. Like, my dad is super romantic. He goes bends over backwards to my mom. My mom doesn't even wear her wedding ring because she like doesn't see a reason to. Baby, are you naked?
Yes.
I was talking to my husband. not you, Luke. Luke me says yes, I'm naked.
But like, I think what keeps it together definitely would be like you have to have the same foundation, both of you.
Right.
Again, back to what I was saying, you have to have something. You have to be like-minded, and that's what Dad said. My dad, me and Maria's dad said, you have to be like-minded.
Isn't there something about the yolks?
The yoke and the egg white.
Something in the Bible about equally yoked.
Yeah, you can't be unequally yoked. And I mean, I guess that's why bad marriages work out. Even if you hate each other, you're still like-minded.
That's my point. If you're both if you both believe in the world, that's why it works. You can still be angry, hate, but you both have the same like-mindedness. That's why even without God, they can be together. But if you're not like-minded, it doesn't usually work.
It's funny because like at a restaurant, when I have tables that have anniversaries, and they've been together for 30, 40, even 52 years was my most recent one. And I asked him, like, what's the secret to being together? And every single time, the guy answered first, and they would say, it's because she can put up with me. She has patience. And I was like, that's not why you guys are still together. Like, give me a real reason.
Maybe that is the reason.
Honestly, I feel like I've heard that before, too. And it's kind of like one of those common jokes that people make. Like, you know, the plate's empty, and they're like, I hated it. That kind of joke. I feel like that's like the same kind of thing. She can put up with me.
Or is that really why they're together? Because like she has the patience to deal with this person.
Well, I do believe relationships have to have extreme patience. Most people don't have any patience at all. They want instant gratification. That's why they break up too.
Yeah, I mean, it does require patience.
Yeah.
People get bored. That's another reason people break up. They just get bored because it's not what they wanted. Because they weren't honest with themselves going into a relationship.
Or you can thank social media for that.
Yeah, there's a billion other people.
Look at all the fun people are having.
But that's not even social media. That's been like even in the before time, like when kings would cheat on their wives with several women, they just get bored. You can't blame social media for everything, Luke.
No. Not for,
I mean, the kings basically had social media.
Yeah, he does have. So he has everything. He has everything when he wants it.
He had the million people physically in front of him rather than on a screen. He had it even harder.
Yeah, and the kings. When you come to history, you got to remember, kings back then is different back then than it is. Well, not really different, but I mean, like that's a king we're talking about. We're talking about
now that power of a king.
Has it.
Everyone is a king.
Think about this. I don't blame social media for everything, but it does. You have to admit that it plays a very big role in everybody's lives. If we are glued to this platform, you don't think that changes our mind frame? You have instant anything you want. Swipe.
It's
and
the
you have
same
sex.
thing as
Swipe,
food.
you have food. Swipe. You don't even have to go out to get your own
You're
food.
right.
Well, it's the same thing as food because whatever you look at, you're putting into your body. And
All the responsibility on everybody else on your phone. You have to do nothing. You push a button.
I get that.
That's what Kings did.
Did
They
you guys
pushed a
watch
button.
the latest episode? Did you guys watch the latest episode of Rick and Morty?
I have not watched it yet.
No, because we're not children.
Okay, well, an alien species filtrates Earth with an app
We are
called
adults.
soulmates. And you can find your soulmate, it scans your face, and then it tells you who your soulmate is. Well, everyone keeps going through soulmate after soulmate. Like the one girl had 7 soulmates in 1 week.
That's
Because, like,
funny.
That's how quickly our minds change.
That's funny because I mean,
it
that's
was so on point.
what's on point about it is, that's where the future's headed. There's going to be an app where it's like you put in your information and boom, it just finds like one person or something. Because why would they not
It kept
invent that?
changing. And it said like a married couple out with their kid. And he's like, I'm leaving you. I found someone else who's my soulmate. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she finds like a dog that's her soulmate. And they both run off. And then a week later, they're back together and they're back off again.
That's great. It's
stupid.
making fun of people.
It is. But like, that's sad. That's honestly, people will say, this is my soulmate. I love this man. This is my wifey. This is my soon-to-be husband. And then they break up like a week later. And you're just like, so what was the intention? What was the foundation of your relationship that you guys actually thought you were going to be married and live happily ever after? Which is another
It
thing. You
sounds
can't live
simple.
happily ever after. That's not how life
simple.
works.
Like in my mind, this sounds simple. Like I understand why it all goes to hell, but people
There's
wanna
nothing
find,
surprising.
Like, people want to have that like self-idolization. It's all on you. You're your own God. So it's basically, I don't know. I just think it falls apart once you think you are all powerful, and this is why you can make a relationship work. It's all on you. It's like, no, it doesn't work. You have to have something more divine than that, because all humans are evil.
I mean, it sounds funny said blunt like that,
know.
but I guess what
You know what's funny? You should make a blunt because it's very simple.
all
Why
humans
complicate things?
are evil. I think they all definitely have evil tendencies. Like the potential to do evil is in everyone. I really like what Jordan Peterson says about people wonder, oh, why did so-and-so take cocaine? Or that's surprising. Why are people going through anxiety? Why are people going through depression? And he says it's more amazing when people aren't, like same thing with violence. Like why are people committing violence? Peacefulness is the more rare and amazing part of life.
How can you be peaceful?
Mm-hmm.
So wait, are you, like, if I understand, what are people then as a platform? If they have tendencies of evil, what are they intrinsically?
To me, it's what they act on. The choice is up to the individual.
Are you saying they're a gray spot?
They have to make a choice. You can't stay on. You can't stay in gray.
I always do this. We are all born into it. In the way of, we are born sinful, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you're born, you don't even have to. You're born that way. You have the free won't, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, remember how it says you automatically want to make that choice, but you have the choice not to do it. It's like you're already born into it. You have the choice not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the tendency to do good. Automatically, you're not.
Well, if someone cuts you off and you want to kick their ass and you want to fight them, what makes you
That
not?
means you are. That's my point. So that means you already are.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
You
that
have the choice to
the initial
not.
thought is
You're always it. As soon as you're born,
It's just about how you act on your reaction to that.
I'm not going to say you're good and then you can be good or bad.
Here's a good thought, though. How often is the initial thought of something the good one?
It's never.
Right. I never thought of that until now. The initial thought is the bad one.
What does the Bible say?
Right.
The heart of man is continually evil. His imagination is continually evil. It says, oh, he has a good imagination, then evil will come. No, it's a continually evil.
That makes sense.
We're born into sin. That's what it says. You're born into sin. Even though you were innocent as a babe, you're born into it. And people do, well, that's
I like
not
that
fair.
Because that just puts the thing that like no one's good. Like when people say they're a good person, like you can't be.
But whenever the one person came up to Jesus says, "Oh, good master," he says, "Why do you call me good? None's good but God." Mm-hmm. That's Jesus saying it.
Well, then it does kind of. I mean, we already ruined the word deserve and pride. It kind of makes it difficult to explain someone that you just met to anyone else. I gotta just say, here's a human. Because usually that's a part of an introduction. They're a good person or they're nice.
No, you can do this. They're a decent person.
Guys, I have the
they're
definition
okay.
of good. You ready for the definition of good?
Lay it on us.
It says to be desired or approved of.
Where did you get this definition?
Google.
What year is it?
To be desired, approved. Okay, so that's not good.
The definition of good.
No, it is.
Well, see, now here's the thing. That's our definition now.
Did you not fucking believe me?
No, I did.
Luke just said good isn't good.
No. I'm saying no. Now good isn't good.
My
because
brain
what they've
hurts.
Done. No, here's what I think. Right? You see, back then, good means pure. It's untainted from the
Does that
get-go.
mean in here?
No, on there. So that's what I mean. Don't make Google your God. Don't make Google the source of all being. It's a
then I
good
just looked up in the,
dictionary. It's like becoming an
The first one
urban.
that comes in the dictionary, the Webster dictionary, the first one is a favorable character or tendency.
Favorable.
Yes, and then bountiful or fertile, like good land.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Handsome or
Where did Google?
attractive, like good looks.
That's a good
That's an example. Where did Google get that first definition that you said? Because that's whack.
I just typed it. I typed in definition of good, and that's the first thing that came up was to be desired or approved of. And their sentence was a good quality of life.
Desired. That's weird. Approved of.
Google hates you guys.
Well, here's the thing. Well, no, I'm really like maybe you can like.
I like having Maria on the line
Yeah,
like this.
yeah.
I feel like we should do every episode
right,
where they're
right.
like looking things up, randomly arguing with us. Sorry, though. You're in the middle of something.
It's true. But Maria, Maria, what do you think about this? And I think we talked about this before, but whenever somebody is truly, now when I use the word truly, when somebody is actually truly pure or good, what does the mass say about that person? When they're truly good or pure and innocent, like
What does
the
what
mass,
say about the person?
the mass, people out there in the world. When
The
somebody
people,
is,
what do people?
Usually say or about that person that
They
is.
think they're wrong. They think they're wrong.
Yeah, they think they're
that
wrong, or they
person's
think they're better,
wrong,
or they want to destroy
or
them.
Stupid.
I can only think of
Well,
one
you wanna
example.
destroy.
I've never met a person that did. Oh wow, that person's actually a really
Well,
decent person. They
Yeah,
actually
simple way
want
to put
better
that is-
things.
I met
They always
one.
want to destroy them.
I met one person
No,
that
you
was
didn't.
completely perfect in every way, and I just wanted to crucify him.
Well, I'll put that.
No, I'm kidding. This guy coming in here with his long hair.
When Luke worked at R12, all the girls there were like, they wanted to take him. They wanted to climb him. They wanted to take him to bed. Because he was
Who? Luke?
pure. And it was
In a
like,
bad
I could
way.
take Luke and
They
just
didn't
show
want to
him
actually
the
do.
touch.
Oh wow, I
They
want to do
wanted
this guy. They
destroy
Well,
wanted
I
to
didn't.
destroy me.
I didn't think so.
They did this. I want to just take him and take that from him, and then they even said I can then dump him.
Right.
So that's
Yeah, they
me.
didn't wanna
They
marry
don't
him.
want anything good. The thing is, see, when you actually follow true purity, as God says, if you actually do it, they will not hate you. They hate me because you're showing His works.
The lighter you are, you can see their darkness even
And what
more.
does the darkest want to do? It despises light. I'm not saying, oh, me, it's not me. I'm not saying that people, it's not my own works. I'm saying that's why I
The
believe
choices you've made.
it's God through me. It's him they hate. Well, think about it. When I talk about the Bible, and Marie can back me up on this, what do people do, Marie, at work? They roll their eyes. Oh, shut up. This is stupid. They don't want to hear it. So if I live by it, why don't you think they not like me? Why do you think?
And
It's not good.
It's not okay. We've
We just need a little encouragement.
People,
pinch.
a lot of people think they're good. So the other people's definition of good, I would love to know what that is. Like, I want to know Caroline's definition of good.
Well, know how you
know
can,
what I'm saying? Like,
yes, Maria, and know how you can find that out? What's your foundation built off of?
That's the only way you could find
If your
out.
foundation, let's say, okay, you don't have to think have God in your life.
like,
That means
you're giving her a lot of credit.
What?
She doesn't know what a foundation. She doesn't know what a foundation is.
I don't
If
think
you
we're
don't
really
know what
talking about
foundation
her.
is, how do you have the audacity to say you know what good and right is? Good or wrong, I should say, good or evil.
Well, honestly, I think if you ask a lot of people, they won't give you an answer.
Because they don't have one.
Yeah.
Right, because they don't have a
That's true.
foundation. Because when I was doing, it's big in the yoga meditation culture where there is no good and there is no bad. It's all relative. Everything's relative. But then essentially everything's meaningless, right? If
Yeah.
there,
I
if there's
mean,
nothing good or bad, you don't know where to head, and then you're just in this void. Why do anything?
And I get how some people can understand that. Like on a small scale, what was it? What is normal for the spider is chaos for the fly. So that's two different perspectives of that. But if we're all still human, we should all know our foundation, and we should all know what's right and wrong. And yes, there is a gray area on a lot of stuff. I know my family does not have a gray area. It's either right or wrong. It's our family.
Right.
There's zero gray area. But I feel like we're not morally aligned at all anymore. You're your own God. So whatever you decide is the right way to go.
And that's the thing, like foundations are very important, but even if we disagree, I think this was Prager that said it, if we disagree on it, we should at least agree on the values of life, right? Like to kill someone, that shouldn't be okay. That shouldn't be right. Or, I mean, that shouldn't be like, that shouldn't be a good thing to kill someone, right? Do we agree upon that value of life? And you can be an atheist or you can be a
But you have
theist.
to fun thing is, though? Men is so wicked, they'll find a million ways to kill another person, and then some of those areas may be shaded in gray.
Yeah, like abortion.
Yeah, they can do abortion. They could do.
Now you see the
killing
danger
someone
of not having like that foundation. See, but you would think that the value should be agreed upon. But then see how you can manipulate it because that gray area. That's why I don't like. That's why our family doesn't like gray areas. You try to find a way around. You try to find a way to justify it.
Make up your mind.
Yeah.
Pick a side.
Yeah.
Pick one.
It's not radical. I'm not radical. Here's the thing. If people say I'm such a horrible person for the way I am, see, I'm not the one coming after you and trying to destroy you. I do this. Let's agree to disagree. I say it to people all the time. And let's just live peaceably. I don't want to like get into this because we're not going to agree upon it. You're going to do what you're going to do. Do what you have to do. I'm going to do what I do. This is my life circle. Don't come in and I won't come in yours. They're not happy with that. It becomes like the extreme leftists or like the what's his name, Stalin movement. No, we have to go over there and destroy them. If we want to prove this is what we believe in, we must destroy the other side. Completely wipe them off the face of the earth for us to prove ourselves. I'm not doing that. So who's the one?
Good.
So who's the one that's actually? Here's the thing. Who's the one that's actually practicing good moralities? This is how you. This is called trying their fruits. If they say, well, they're not because they're right there, they're showing it. And if I'm saying it, well, it shows that, well, my way is the way.
We should be able to live peaceably with different ideas.
Yeah, but that's never going to happen because if you are somebody that says you're peaceably, but it shows that you're not, your works, it's not going to happen. They must rise up to destroy it.
Well, that's obviously not peace.
Exactly.
I'm not saying it's possible.
I don't think there will ever be peace on earth. It's impossible.
I don't think it's possible either. I
don't think peace on earth is ever possible. I mean, as long as I'm alive, like I'm not having that happen.
Right. Yeah, because honestly, it would be kind of annoying. Good day. It is a good day.
That's not peace. That's control.
No one's controlling them. Everyone's choosing to do that.
That's what they want you to do.
You're just don't mess up my hypothetical world.
What's your definition of good? Fight them over it?
What? Well, I think it's and then bam. I was listening to Dennis Prager, his fireside chats, and one of the questions that someone asked was they have a teacher that's pushing leftist propaganda in the classroom. They didn't want to cause a stir or have their grades affected or anything. How should they say their view? And I loved his response, and it was basically, don't try and argue. Don't try and win. Try and see where your differences are and accept them. Just find the differences. So these are our differences. It's not about winning. It's about just finding the differences. And I thought that was pretty interesting. But good luck with that, though.
They're not going to live. Yeah, they're not going to live with that.
That's a hard thing for our culture.
Right.
Our culture loves to win.
Right, but that says a lot about a person. If they're not in a conversation to win, and they're just having a conversation, you could feel that. You could feel the difference in a conversation when someone's not trying to win.
Yeah, like Jordan Peterson's even said, like, we don't have conversations, we talk. We try to out-talk the other person. There's no listening.
It's called a hierarchy conversation.
Yeah, about me. Now it's about me.
Hierarchical. Yeah, that's what that is. You're trying to be above someone.
Yeah, or like when someone will talk to somebody, but they're only listening to like rebuttal against everything they say. They're never listening to them.
Oh, right.
Or they hear one word and they have a response in their back pocket triggered for that word.
Yeah. Instead of like actually listening and trying to find out where someone's coming from. And I think that also when you get into a conversation with somebody, they don't like when you know where they're coming from. Like, you know how, like, Luke, you said before, like, you can, like, not destroy someone, but destroy someone by finding out about them?
Yeah.
You know, you said that.
Kind of, you can see where people are coming from.
Yeah.
Like, if you know so much about someone, you're like, no, I can completely see where you're coming from, but I don't agree with it. They get angry at you.
Right.
Because they think if you can actually see their perspective, you should agree with them.
Exactly. No, I can see where you come from.
That's a weird thing. That is a weird thing.
And then the thing is, if I try to give them the way I think, they don't want to hear it, period.
They won't even give you, I see where you're coming from.
The thing is, when
you don't get any rope on this.
Exactly, because even if I do talk, I can tell that they can't argue with what I'm saying, because it's not like destroying them. It's not destroying me. It's a truth. They can't argue with the truth. So what they usually just put up their hands like, no, just stop.
Well, no, now you're the crazy one. Instead, at the very end of it, they have to come after your character.
And they can say I'm crazy. Just
he's weird. He's homeschooled. Strange.
Yeah, I got that. People come back with that. They'll say, well, you were homeschooled, you wouldn't know. And I'm like,
yeah, you don't understand how to live.
And
So
I think
weird.
I think it's ironically funny that their way is to accept everything. This is what they preach. They accept everything, everyone for what they are. They love, and they say there is no right or wrong.
Sounds nice.
If that is true, see, that's my thing. If that is true, then let's say if I go to school, I should be able to say, oh, I disagree with that. They're like, you can't say that. That's wrong. Wait, I thought you said there's no right or wrong. I thought it could be whatever I want
No
to be.
right or wrong. Why can't I kill people?
Exactly.
Well,
That's
you
my
guys
point.
Another podcast, like
You can't preach all schools are leftist or the liberal. They teach that. They teach Marxism. But if you try to teach conservative or anything on the right side, they say, oh, no, that you can't do that. That's not good. Something, so you're not accepting of all ways. That's what that shows, number one, so that your belief failed right there. And also you're pushing only one side, which you claim is good. So that's another part right there, that your whole belief system is wrong. Your whole belief and religion, because it's way of life, is finite. It collapses.
No,
so that's
no,
how
no.
you can tell that your way doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Knowledge is fluid, Luke. Knowledge is fluid.
No, it's not. You can believe that, but if it is, then it falls apart.
Why do you think they teach Marxism in school? I mean, they don't at an early age, but it's
They say,
definitely.
what do you call early age?
I mean, like 5th grade.
I'm talking
middle
about 15
school,
to early age. That's when the mind, like you're youthful, you want to be like something, and they're
high
teaching
school. Not really. The thing is, it's subtle because it comes from the teachers, and most teachers are on the left. And I guess because that's who's paying their
you. You
bills.
have to teach that way. You can't teach another way. Even if they're not on the left, they have to teach that way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Where do you think it's coming from?
Marxism is super high idealistic, but it does not play out in the real world sense. It's same as a utopia or world peace.
Yes, Maria,
It's
you're right. You're right.
idealistic,
It's called.
but it will
It's
never
a
play out.
great idea, horrible in actually reality.
Yeah, same as world peace. It can't be implied into the real world.
No.
There is no
But
utopia.
you teach kids it, but you also teach kids that everything. If you teach Marxism in schools and kids think it's right, you think that maybe they can implement it, but they can't.
Well, they're coming into this world and they're going to have a big surprise when they see that none of that is accurate. It falls apart.
Why do you think we have so many suicides?
And that's why they're safe spaces, because they do see that none of their stuff is real, and they need safe spaces to deal with it because they can't mentally handle it anymore.
It's like a computer with a bad program and it's just destroying itself. The problem destroys itself, and it's not a good thing, but
See,
it's a show. You could definitely watch it happen.
Now
You can
here's a-
watch it destroy. Their brains explode, the people in safe
Exactly.
spaces and everything.
Exactly.
Because you want to get to the thing, and they just start to shout.
They're materialistic. Here's a room. That's your safe space instead of inside.
Right.
You give them a materialistic safe space, and that's going to wear out. Like, here's a good one. Like, do we all agree here? History rhymes. It's
Yeah.
inevitable. It's going to happen again some way or another, somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
All right. So when you look at like all the history of dictatorships and their inevitable collapse, and then we go down to this like nice little peaceful area, don't you think it's inevitable we're going to have another dictatorship sooner or later in life?
Absolutely.
And we're all going to be for it. You're going to see all society doing, yeah. It's going to happen just like Mao Zedong. They were all happy, waving flags, and they're like all for
And
it.
I think here it is.
Yeah, exactly. It all started. Here's the
This
thing.
is it.
No one learned.
But people think, oh, we're going to learn this time, huh? We're going to learn this time. Here's the thing. No, the thing is, it all plays out the same, just wrapped up in a different package. It's not going to look
Yeah, well,
exactly like that, like peasants.
And
It's
then
just
people
going
will
to be.
cheer for it. People will cheer for that.
Yeah, look at the people you work with. They're all happy about it. They go to their pride parades and they're all for the new movements and like, oh, we can all have abortions. This is great. We have freedom. That's how they get people. They give you so much kind of freedom that you want, whatever it is. Oh, you want to be a dog? Go ahead, be a dog, and we'll pay for it. This is wonderful. I'm for these people. I'm for this movement. And once they get everybody in their pocket, then they completely they collectivize on you now. Now you become the state. And then now you have a dictatorship. It happens over and over again.
Once they give you everything that you need, quote unquote,
Well, like
then you need
none of
them.
the laws even make sense with just talking recently, like these girls who are 19, we have rules that say like you'd be 18 or older to have a relationship with, to be in a sexual relationship with someone over the age of 18.
In America.
Otherwise, it's statutory rape, right?
Right.
But the legal age to get married in certain states in America is 15, 16, and you can marry however old you want.
Okay.
So like if you're in Texas, you can get married at 16, you can marry an 80-year-old man.
Mm-hmm.
But technically, that counts as
Rape.
Is that
statutory rape.
because federally
So why-
that's the
who
law?
who made up that law?
What, the
It sounds like
15?
sounds like men made it up because it doesn't make sense. Anything man makes up,
It does,
it's
but it doesn't make
hypocritical.
sense. But then across the country, like if you go to England, if you go to Ireland, the drinking age there is 15, And you can be an adult at 13. You can be involved in a relationship at 13. So why do we have the law of 18? Who made that law?
It's culturally based.
Is that a morally upheld law? Is that just a law?
That's a construct law, it sounds like to me. Is this what people in a room did? I think this sounds about right.
Yeah, 18 is about right.
I do this. You can get married when you can act like an adult.
But you can, so at 18.
Well, it's not up to the parents anymore. It's up to the state.
You can go to war and you can get involved in a relationship, but you can't buy alcohol. You can't buy cigarettes.
Right.
You can give your life to a country that you don't even know, but you can't buy alcohol.
And those laws are silly anyway. It's not like an 18-year-old can't get alcohol. That's ridiculous.
But those things like really bother me. Like, and I was talking to people at work. I was like, when do we change the law? Sooner or later, with the way our country's going, we're not going to have laws that protect kids from getting raped. It'll be like you can have sex with whatever age you want to.
Oh, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
What do you think about this LGBTQ movement? Right. So you're going to have soon.
Yeah.
No. You're going to soon have the P. You know what the P stands for? Pedophilia.
Yeah, wait.
They can't help liking children.
Where did you hear that from, though?
No, that was a real speech. I remember the one I heard was on TED Talks. It was a woman speaking for them.
Technically, the LGBTQ is trying to say they're not for pedophilia.
Oh,
but they're saying that
no.
Well,
wait a minute.
That's going to be difficult for them to say because it's not an actual group.
It's very hard.
Everyone's on a different level.
Right. So here's the thing. It was like Dave Chappelle
It's not
said,
a group.
LGBTQ, they think it's one movement. It's not. They're each their own movement, but they travel in the same car.
Right.
They just put it together and people think it's one movement. That's not true if you look it up. So
yes,
the P...
We all saw the Dave Chappelle special.
Yes, thank you, Maria. That was a great one. So the P, they want to add later. They can't do it now, but they're trying to get it into law. So basically, it's like if you are a pedophile, that's fine, as long as you just have consent from the kid. And think, how does a kid give consent? The thing is, because
they're
woman...
trying to make it a good thing.
Yeah, and they do. And they did a really good job at it, too. The thing is, what they're saying is they can't help it.
By saying they're inactive. They're not active pedophiles. They're inactive, which means they just think about kids, but they would never, ever hurt a child.
Yes.
And like that is such a gray area that you should not be in.
Oh, well,
that is a line you should not be teetering.
There's always lines when you have all these...
Apparently, are you sure the P doesn't stand for plus?
No, they have that one, too. But
no, the P isn't official. The P is not official.
It's not official.
Yeah, they haven't decided amongst it. They all gather in one big pride parade and go,
I'm just saying giving enough time. I'm saying giving enough time.
The P is added.
They
Give
have
it
not
enough
done
time.
a blood sacrifice for the P yet.
Exactly.
Everyone just one big parade for a letter.
And I think it's weird too, because like, have you guys ever?
Wait, how do you know they're pushing it though?
I just told you.
Because they're trying.
Where?
The word inactive pedophiles become more and more prevalent. Like, you know, you can search up trends on Twitter.
It takes time. It's steps, Maria's saying. It takes.
I'm not doubting that it's going to happen. It might.
Yeah.
But I just want to know
not?
what are the signs that it's happening?
Oh, there's like debates about it. People are like on TED Talk. They stand up and they're trying to. They're defending them. Like, oh no,
pedophilia.
Yes, they're defending them.
Really?
They're saying they can't help it.
You're talking about that TED Talk where the girls justified it?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, that was scary.
What? TED Talk. Here we are on Snopes. Aren't they not reliable? I heard.
No, Snopes is not reliable. Snopes is owned by a conglomerate.
Oh, it says it's true anyway. So it must be false. A TEDx speaker, my brain. A TEDx speaker gave a talk that referred to pedophilia as an unchangeable sexual orientation. True. Huh. On 5th of May, 2018, the University of Würzburg in Germany held an event in the theme of future societies that featured Marham Hin, a medical student who gave that would become a controversial presentation on the subject of why our perception of pedophilia has to change. Whoa. Do you want me to keep reading?
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, they're really trying to say it's normal. They're saying it's a normal attraction.
In her talk, she said it is not normal. No, I'm kidding. It says in her talk, Hein told the story of a 19-year-old Jonas, a Munich law student who is sexually attracted to girls aged 6 to 12 years old. Whoa. But since he's aware of the consequences for the children, he has never given in to his sexual drive. That's what we were talking about earlier. The first thought is not the good thought because we have a lot of twisted ways.
And the thing is, here's the thing. If this was a law that did pass, if you're a parent, right, and you have a 6-year-old daughter and there's somebody that wants to be with her, you have to let it happen.
Right,
you can't be a parent. See what happens.
It's up to the state now.
See how bad it really gets?
Yeah, because it's not, when you have a kid, it's not your kid.
I know, it's the states.
It's the states. If you don't send them to school, then that's abuse.
No, here's the thing. See, this is why they can get away with it. Once you push that line once, you got to push it for everybody else. And you can't say it's wrong. Here we go. Let's say you want to be a trans person. And right, let's say they're not wrong. This is what they want to do. Who are you to say they can't do it? Okay, let's say everybody says true. We're for that. All right. So this person wants to have sex with this 5-year-old girl. You can't say that's wrong, because if he can do a transgender and you all agree with that's not wrong, it's what he believes and what he wants to do, and then he can do what he wants to do. Why do you get to draw the line?
Well, you got to find the common ground between the two, because it could sound like a stretch for a lot of people, but the common ground is that
enough time, they will all accept it.
I agree, but just for people listening.
You guys are talking about this. They're trying to make certain forms of child pornography legal because they're not hurting anybody.
Yeah, that's what people believe, Maria.
Kids want to pose. They're saying if kids want to pose in underwear and nude, and people are just taking pictures of them, that's fine. That should be allowed up to help these pedophiles work through their clause of wanting to be with the younger child.
See, it comes down to the identity thing.
They're pushing.
But what does God say? He says, what does Jesus say? He says, when we talk about fornication, let's say the fornication, like, well, you don't even have to be with someone. If you just desire somebody, you committed it. And people will think, well, that enranges them. Just the thought in your heart, you already committed it. That's what I mean by the thought and the imagination of man is continually evil.
So if it happened in your mind.
If it's here, you already did it.
Yeah.
You're condemned already.
But
there's no hope.
I think people
not for man, there isn't.
No, I know.
Man, there's no hope. Here's the thing. With man, this is
children
impossible.
Are definitely used.
With Jesus,
children
is possible.
Are definitely used to push an agenda. Because you can make children believe anything, because children already hate their parents nowadays. So why would they listen to their parents? Why wouldn't they listen to whatever agenda is being pushed by a celebrity or a TV show or something like that?
Well, usually they don't rebel until, 13, 14, 12?
No, I don't know.
I've seen some do 6 years old.
Yeah, I guess when they're young, they're trying to see what they could get away with. It's like, I'll show you, Mom. I'm going to be a girl.
Then also, you have a household that has two parents that both have to work. So who's there watching the kids? It's a school. A school in Texas is teaching, like they have sex ed in school, okay. But now they're having instructions on anal sex, oral sex.
Instructions how to do it?
Instructions.
But and they're starting at 10 11 years old.
Bend over. Okay. I get to see this.
I can see the South Park episode already made.
Now what you want to do is shove.
No.
Hey, I'm just making fun of it.
Dude, South Park was on point with some of the stuff they showed what was going to happen later on.
Yeah, they had, what was the guy in like the leather? What was his name? Mr. Garrison's sidekick. No, Mr. Slave. Yeah.
Mr. Slave.
Yeah.
That with the chain usually. They
had him in the classroom. Mm-hmm. And what's funny, like that's the funniest kind of humor where it's like we all know where things are headed. So it's a joke, but it's also where it's headed. You see the truth. Yeah,
it's a joke.
Well, do you've watched South Park
There's
for a
truth
while.
in it.
Back in the day, do you remember the episode where Mr. Garrison got a fancy new vagina?
Vaguely. I remember the name.
So Mr. Garrison decided he wants to be a female. And this is like 7-8 years ago. And he goes to the doctor and he gets a fancy new vagina.
His period.
So they make it for him. And then he's like, I haven't had my period. I must be pregnant. I want an abortion. And they're like, you can't be pregnant. You're a male. He's like, first of all, I'm a female. I haven't got my period and I want an abortion. And then he started this whole thing and people started rising up with him to make it okay so he could get an abortion even though he wasn't pregnant. And you laughed. And then nowadays it's happening.
Well, Steven Crowder did that when he went to the abortion clinic dressed up as a woman with what is it? A woman that was impregnated, her urine to give out. Mm-hmm. So that they had to tell him that he was pregnant.
Which I don't.
And they offered an abortion.
That's funny.
And how were they going to perform that?
But in reality, if a man takes that test and it comes up positive, it means there's a high chance of them having some sort of cancer. And they did not tell that to Steven Crowder. They told him, "Did you want to proceed with the?"
If he said yes, what do they do? Pretend?
Okay.
See, it's all a game. Like, it's all pretend. It's all fantasy.
That's akin to like you put food down in front of somebody like, I didn't order this. You're like, yes, you did. You can't agree with them all the time. They're wrong.
That's what
people are wrong sometimes.
That's what I'm trying to say. People are wrong sometimes.
All I'm trying to get a point is that people are wicked and wrong sometimes.
I like how it comes off strong at first and then the soft finish sometimes. They're wrong and wicked sometimes.
People are
Any water?
stupid. As God, question: what do you guys think about feminism?
Feminism.
Yes.
I think the definition nowadays has changed. It used to mean, I
Okay.
believe it used to mean something different back then than it does now.
Okay, what do you think was the original definition of feminism?
For women to be equal with men. And of course, I think, yes, absolutely. No equal. The thing is, it was equal pay, equal opportunity, voting rights, their choice as men have choices. And absolutely, I always thought, why not? But I think it's become something totally different.
I think now it's that women are better than men.
Destroy
Okay.
men.
Or
I
be
think
men.
Feminism. I do think feminism became synonymous with like man hate. Just like you have to hate
Right.
man.
I'm sorry.
And when you try to tell people like what the original definition of feminism was, they get really angry at you.
So what was the original, or what do you think the original definition of
It
feminism
was
is?
advocation of women's rights for us to be
Basically what I
equally
said.
paid.
Right.
Basically what I said.
But the thing is, you can't start some sort of movement without people taking it too far. You can't say one thing without everyone going, yeah, and like going nuts with it. Like the LGBTQ thing.
What do you expect? Do you expect as soon as they get what they want, let's say all equal rights, they're going to be happy just with that? No, now we want more.
When I think of a feminist, in my mind, I think of like Amelia Earhart. She saw men flying planes. She wanted to fly a plane. She flew a plane. She wanted to fly a plane around the world, and she tried.
I don't know if that's the
that-
best
that was
reasoning to
feminism.
do it, though.
What happened?
Was that her reason? Because men were doing it? She's like, I'll show them.
She always wanted to fly, but she was told from various people that she couldn't because it's only a man thing only. But her father said anyone can fly. If you have a brain and two hands, you can fly a plane.
That's
and
awesome.
What she did.
Yeah, that's not.
As long as it's not to prove a
For
point.
instance, like you say, I would never think like to fly a plane, it takes a specific gender. That's stupid to think that way.
That's
Right.
what it was at the time. It was a specific gender. Like only guys could fly planes.
See,
When it started, only guys could drive cars. Women weren't allowed to ever drive a car.
Well, they shouldn't be nowadays either.
Yeah, they're, if you're on the 405 out here in California, you know.
Have you ever driven the 405 in California?
There are so many women drivers. Too many.
I mean,
If you want to get rid of them, just use promo code JoshLuTalking.com.
women drivers are nuts.
Maria, do you know where that voice came from?
The what?
That voice that we just did?
No.
Oh,
Ben
shoot.
Shapiro.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro. No one's going to know. Damn it. It's all right. It's still fun for us.
Okay, yes. I see where that came from now. Hey, have
So
you
what's
ever
your
listened
take
to
on
Jordan
it?
Peterson thought he sounded like Kermit the Frog.
Jordan Peterson.
Kermit the Frog. Yeah, I think I saw that. But no, wait, let's continue with the feminist thing. We just threw
Jordan
it all
Peterson
off
Frog.
base.
Jordan Peterson Frog. Let's talk about it.
No, but yes, Amelia Earhart.
I always
That
hear Kermit
makes-
the Frog
that
now
makes
whenever I
sense.
listen to Jordan Peterson.
No, that makes sense to me. What she did, if you want to say that was the first initial feminism thing, that's fine. There's nothing wrong about that. That made sense to me.
Yes.
She proved a valid point.
It's just a shame now how it's got from equal rights to being better than and to hating men. And specifically, I've known people that I've worked with that have purposely dated the same sex because they just hate men.
Yes, I know. I know who exactly, like all those kind of women. Yeah,
Why such an anti-hate of male?
because
Why?
they're told to.
And like even the term toxic masculinity, like that term is terrible because you're basically telling guys they shouldn't be guys.
Because down with the
And we're not saying-
patriarchy.
We're not telling guys to be filthy. We're not telling them to be like sexist pigs. But yeah, if you were to be a guy and hold the door open for me, you should be able to. People I've worked with always acknowledge that Luke and Glenn always walk on the outside whenever we walk down the road. They would always walk on the outside, never on the inside. It just comes to them naturally.
Right.
But other guys don't know this. Is that toxic masculinity that Luke insists on walking on the outside?
You don't think I can walk on the outside? And that's the confusion it causes when people just start behaving ridiculous. I remember once I offered to carry something for someone and they were like, I could do it myself. And it's like, I know you.
laugh, yeah.
I know you can.
I'm here doing nothing. I would help. If you want to, you don't have to. If you want to feel empowered, then fine, please.
You could just say, no, that's okay. I got it. But there's this rage that comes out sometimes,
Yeah.
or you could just see it. Like, all right, do your thing.
And Maria, like Josh can always advocate for me on this one. whenever I hear certain women say, "Oh, I can't do it," I always say, "Yes, you can." No matter the subject. If it's like building a house, like I can't fix this, I'm like, "Yes, you can."
YouTube.
I really think anybody can do anything. You just put your mind to it.
It's a matter of if you want to do it.
Yeah.
Anyone can
Yeah.
do anything. It's just a matter of if you want to do
one,
it.
you can't. Well, you can't do this. Well, unless it's like, well, no, actually, I think they could. If you really want to do it,
But
do
I like
it.
to say everything's impossible until it isn't. You can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Most people can do it. You just gotta put your women seem to think that they should be doing something even if it causes them harm. I've seen girls at work try to carry these heavy tables. Well, I know they can't do it, but they'll never ask a guy for help because that's wrong. It demeans them. It devalues their femininity in some way if they ask a guy for help.
I mean, I guess it's their choice, but it's where it's coming from. If they're bitter, if they're angry at people that did nothing to them, then that's going to hurt them. I mean, honestly, that
gonna hurt
hurts
everybody.
that's what I was going to say. That hurts everybody. If you're angry at people, that's not good. In the words of Jordan Peterson, it's not okay.
What, is
It's
it-
not okay.
Oh man!
Or just the song Straight White Male by Tom McDonald.
Tom McDonald's awesome.
Yeah.
So on his new record, he has a song called Hitting a Woman. And even a lot of his like hardcore fans like, I can't believe he wrote this.
What?
And it's basically saying like from being a young age, like you're always told that the guy is wrong. And he said when he was 6, like some girl would beat him up, but he got in trouble for it.
What? Tom
When he got
McDonald
older,
specifically?
Another girl like cheated on him and made it his fault and had guys beat him up. He's like, but I didn't do anything. Why are these women coming after me? And he's like, you're lucky that my mom told me never to hit a woman, but if I did, you would deserve it. And I'm like, I'm not angry at it. Some of these people are here are nuts. And I'm not saying like you need to deck a woman and close fist her.
Well, Maria, I know you don't like
These
me
women-
bringing this up, but remember what Shantae said? She said, like, if she always advocated if a woman hits you, because she said this to me, she's like, you definitely hit her back. She's a
Shantae?
Yeah, my sister-in-law. She's like, yeah, I think if a woman hits you, you hit her back.
It's ridiculous. You would destroy them.
But she means in the way of like self-defense, not like boom, not like that.
Right,
But she means
it's
like if a
a
woman's
clock.
like attacking you, you have the right to defend yourself.
Right.
She said
I
you
mean,
don't just take and like
minimal
put her out.
force, whatever.
To
I mean-
restrain them.
Right. Nothing
Whatever it takes to
exceeding.
whatever it takes
to
restrain
destroy
them.
the opponent.
You got to cold cock them. That's
cold
scared of this. But no, like I
What-
had,
what does that
a
mean,
guy
Maria?
Who had his eye, they tried to claw his eye out with a ring, and like he had scratch marks all over his face, and his retina got scratched. But it was his fault somehow because he put hands on her to hold her arms back. But it became his fault, and he ended up spending the night in jail. That doesn't make sense.
Do you think fear is an emotion or a state of being?
Fear.
Yeah.
What do you mean by state of being?
You know what? I would say it's a state of being because, in my way, I would say this because when we're born, we're not afraid of anything except for falling. That is a inborn thing we start with.
Mm-hmm.
Babies are afraid of falling. They're not afraid of anything else. They have no other judgment, and they don't even know what falling is. But if you like make a movement to a baby where it falls, it clenches up and screams.
It's interesting. I started having this thought with my bartender at Brio, Lucia, actually. We were. It was funny how it happened. We were talking really quick about it, but basically came to the conclusion that fear. Many people think fear is a bad thing, and it's not good to have it. But there's tons of potential inside of fear, and that's what we came down to.
Well, the problem
The potential is a beautiful thing.
The thing is, fear
Oh,
is inevitable.
All right.
It's a tool. If you let it control every aspect of your life, that's where it's not healthy.
Right. But it's a great
We have to have
tool.
a small amount of fear.
It's
I'm
put
just saying,
there for a
I
reason.
think we're born
Right.
with a fear, and we just enact on it.
Well, it's like how you said, Maria, like a child, especially when a child gets older, not they're like
guys are
from
almost
6
done.
years old and like up to 12 years old. When you're that age, they don't have fear. Have you noticed kids? Like Hugo, when I did motocross, like the kid that was like 8. Yeah, when they didn't care. They just do anything.
Maria, do you even care about our podcast?
Yeah, stop talking.
She's ordering a coffee and a chalupa. What's a chalupa?
I think fear is healthy to a certain point.
You shouldn't let it control every aspect of your life, though. And people, well, here the thing is, when they let fear control the relationship, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not a relationship.
No, that's not good at all.
You're held
it's not
hostage
good at
by
all.
yourself. I mean, that's
I
what
don't
fear
think
is in
fear is
general.
good for like your life. Like I definitely admit I have a fear if like I leave a job, am I going to get a better one? Is it going to be okay? Am I going to be able to afford my bills? Like that fear Is that a healthy fear? Is that not a good fear? Because it keeps me back from doing a lot.
That could be bad. Well, it's kind of like Maria. It's like
It's good, and
what-
it's got good qualities in it and bad qualities.
because when you
It's what
think
you do
too
with
much
it.
of the future or the past, and you get those fears, that's not good.
I was like the same. I've said this before. If you look in the future, you get anxiety. If you look in the past, you get depressed.
Okay, I get that, but I just feel like sometimes fear can hold you back. You know how Joshua was talking about how our parents kind of installed us money, always make sure you have enough money, so that holds you back from a lot. As long as you're making what you need to survive, did you ever do anything else
As long as you're making enough to survive.
Did you ever be doing anything else?
Yeah, you have more stuff to do now.
Yeah, because you're
Luke,
surviving.
Luke, you're not able to do what you want to do.
That's not true.
What if you're just able to survive?
If you can
Yeah,
keep
you're
the
just
bill
able to
collectors
survive.
away.
Yeah, you got to work on something else. You got to keep testing yourself. You can't stay stagnant. You got to add a little bit more responsibility to what you're doing.
That's where I feel like that fear comes in. That's why people have that fear of I can't do anything else. This is all I can accomplish in life. This is it. This is my life, and that's a fear.
Where do they get that idea,
Well,
though?
it's this, because if Maria, let's say, take Maria for example, she slows up her work pace, let's say gives less of her time to this specific work.
She has to do something else.
Because oh no, my money's dropping. How am I going to make? See all these fears that come up.
Right.
See, this is what I mean. If
You have less now.
If I make enough, I'm paying my rent off. I'm paying all my bills I need to pay off, right? And I don't really care about things. I guess if you put all your time into things, that's why that chokes you too. But I
They
have
own
this
you.
enormous freedom. I'm learning things, right? I can go online. I can go online. I can learn all the history. I enjoy that. I have the freedom to go around the country, take my trips.
Yeah, you have days to better yourself.
But you weren't afraid. I'd be terrified of going across the country. That's the thing. Is that fear holding me up?
But here's the thing: is that
Do you want
actually
to,
wanna
though?
do that?
Yeah, do you want to go across the country?
What's in you? Maybe you don't actually want to do that, so you don't do something that you think you should be doing. What do you actually want to do? And here's the thing.
If I actually wanted to open my own restaurant, or if I actually wanted to go 100% fully into massage therapy.
Oh, man, you should.
do that.
Here's the
I'm
thing.
too scared to do it.
I know. Here's the thing.
Because I
I
don't know
heard
if I do
Maria. I heard her saying this is the thing. Now here's the thing. You are in a relationship with your husband, so it would have to be. You have to come to a consensus with him because you're one. You can't do something without his approval, or he can't do something without your approval. So you got to keep that in mind. You're not single anymore. However, you don't have children. You're living in an apartment. I don't know how much you like your things. You got to take these into consideration. But here's the thing.
Or your activities.
Here's the thing. If you have the strength in youth and you're not binded to debt, you actually have the freedom to jump in the water and take that risk. It might not work out. And if it doesn't work out and you go down to broke, just start over again. Do your meaningless job, make your money back, and live in an apartment.
Yeah, I spent $20,000 on music school.
But it's that fear that holds you back. Sam's you know how I don't do anything that I'm not actually pretty good at? I'll never do origami again because I wasn't good at it right away.
All right.
So you have to be good at things immediately, or
Can't
you don't
just
like
do
it?
on the side?
Yes, I am that person. If I'm not good at something immediately, I drop it.
So say you go to massage therapy and they say, no, you're doing it all wrong.
Well, that's a lie because I'm great at massage therapy.
I know, but how annoying would that be? So I understand that fear because that's logical. There's a lots of times where you do something and people are like, no. You got some weirdo that's in charge of the rules and critiquing.
Well, it sounds like Maria's saying if she knows she completely fails at it. Like origami, she could never even complete it.
Yeah, I don't care.
She could never get the understanding how it works, so she just drops it completely. That's like if somebody's playing the piano, they want to learn it, and they can't seem to grasp it. They just do, I hate it. Maria, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Then.
So here's the thing. She's saying
I get that mentality.
If she wants to open I guess Maria, if I can speak on your behalf for about a second, if she opens a restaurant,
No more.
and she's thinking, okay, I think I can do this. I feel like I have the ability, and she's going about, and all of a sudden it does collapse. She has this fear, and my fears are coming to life. It's collapsing. I want to give up, and I never want to do
Screw this.
again.
The restaurant sucks. The state sucks. They're stealing from. Yeah.
So she's afraid of that. She's letting these theories that she thinks will happen to fear, so she doesn't even want to pursue it.
Yeah. That's my fear.
And whose fault is that?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, let me tell you. You.
I know you didn't see it coming, Maria.
I didn't. That was a completely left turn that just took.
Blindsided. But if you really wanted to do it, you really don't have anything to lose. And that's the coolest part about it.
No, here's what people really don't think about. Ready? Oh, is it dead?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, Maria.
I can barely hear you, Luke.
Hold on.
Hush, child. Child, please.
I'll be there in a second.
I'm getting this video working. What, are you ordering another frappe?
I don't care about the camera because I'm not there in person.
All right, Maria, what were you talking about? About leaving your phone somewhere?
No, like how you say, I know I did this or I know I didn't do that.
Right.
I think I'm so much more conscious about saying that because I realize how much of a finality that is.
How much of what that is?
A finality. Like that's such a...
Oh, yeah, like an absolute... Yeah. Do you feel like you're doing it more overly confident or less confident?
So like I'm not that confident. So I recently lost my phone. And I was like, I think I left it in the car. I think I left it here. And my husband's like, no, where did you leave it? Retrace your steps. I was like, I think I did this. He's like, that's what you think. You have to know where you left your phone. And I laughed. I was like, no, I honestly don't know. And it was outside underneath my car. So I was like, well, I didn't know it was here.
Right. If I knew, I'd have my phone in my hand.
Yes, that's it. I was like, I know I had my phone in the car, and that's about it. I don't know where it is now.
I think that's something good for people to be more conscious of, though.
It really is.
Because so many people are arrogant in that place.
They are. I had people tell me, like, I know I left this table's credit card here. And then we found it, like, in a whole other room. And they're like, well, I didn't see that happening. I was like, because you were too confident that you had it somewhere.
Right. You throw us all off.
The things you guys talk about that definitely made me a lot more conscious of how often I say, like, I know I did this, I know I did that, but I don't know. There's no way you can really account for all 24 hours a day of what you've done.
That's awesome. I've heard people say the whole pride thing, that they, like, rethink that now. That's pretty cool, too.
Mm-hmm. Even
well,
mom.
I'm arrogant.
Yeah, my mom, too.
According to Luke, I'm arrogant, so, I mean, I can't ever fix that.
No, you have arrogance, yes.
Thanks for listening to our podcast.
Luke, we only deal in black and white. We don't deal in gray.
You have arrogance. So back to the fear thing. Do you see yourself ever opening a restaurant or getting into massage therapy?
Where I am, no.
Right now, you don't see it?
No.
And
I don't think I have enough to do it myself. I don't think I have a support I would need to do it. Like, it's a lot of that stuff as well, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, a restaurant by yourself would be huge. Massage therapy is possible, but expensive.
It is. But I just don't think I have the support I would need
It's
to
funny.
make it happen and not have to worry.
See, if you did enough research, Maria, there is a way, like how people do restaurants. For instance, you get a loan from a bank, think, yeah, but then I'm in debt. No, if it doesn't work, it tanks, you claim bankruptcy.
But it's also kind of like this. We do this together, and we both kind of push each other to keep this thing going, you know?
Here's the thing. See, we all put fears in, like how Maria's saying, right? Oh, what my fear is, why no one likes me? Like, I don't care about that, but I'm making an example. Mm-hmm. What you should actually have the fear is this. You're getting older. If you don't do anything, how about that fear? You never try it. You never push yourself. That's what you should be fearing.
Funny, Luke? I don't have that fear of getting older because I just think I'm going to die.
I know, because you want to die.
Because you both were raised by the same mother.
And that's what I mean, Ray. I don't care about dying either. I don't even care about dying either. But I mean
honestly, me neither, though.
Instead of people complaining about, this, and that, how about you just do it? If it doesn't work, now you know. And then you try other things or probably try it again, but now you learned something from it.
Right. There's no harm in doing it.
But
that makes sense. That makes complete sense what you're saying. But in my head, like, I'd rather do something that I might fail out. Like, I'm always scared of failing, too. Failing is a big issue for me throughout my whole life because a lot of things do come easy for me.
Yeah, and let me say something. Maria, there's always going to be somebody better than you.
Not wanting to do difficult things, though, that's going to be tough because then you can't grow.
I know. That sucks, doesn't it? That's a fear.
And I think Maria's the type she has to be number one.
Right.
If she's not number one, she's not going to be happy.
In the words of Jordan Peterson, good luck with that.
I know. It's a stupid thing, too, because I don't like them. I didn't go to school, so there's no reason for me to be competitive towards anybody, but I do feel the need to always be the best at whatever I do, no matter what I do. And I don't know if that's just me, because I'm not really competing with anybody else.
Well, I mean, you can only really do that. I mean, you can do that your entire life, but But then you'll know for sure you'll never get into massage therapy or open up a restaurant. I mean, at the end, it's entirely up to you if you want to do it, but you definitely have nothing to lose.
Yeah, I think massage therapy would be a lot more.
It would be more manageable to go to school and do that.
And I think that's something I would actually like to do on a daily basis because I like hurting people.
Yeah. And you get like really hairy men coming in.
That hairy me. I get a lot of my anger out by massaging other people. You know that when I massage you, I would literally get all my anger out.
Yeah.
And it's a really good way to do it.
Everybody wins. You're not hurting people. Well, in that way.
I'm hurting them physically.
Right, spiritually and emotionally occasionally.
But I feel like that's a good way. And like even at this restaurant, like I don't even want to touch anyone there because of all their weird energy. Mm-hmm. But like when I do kind of like, I need to relax. And like I'll massage somebody. They're like, you're going really hard. It hurts. I was like, it hurts my soul.
Yeah. So there's no way you would fail at that. Like you already know you're great at it. So it just sucks spending money when you already know you're good at something.
It is the fear of the unknown, going out there and doing something different that you haven't done.
Yeah, but in reality, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow anyway. I mean, it's just a good guess, but you don't know.
Yeah, doesn't that stink?
Yeah, I don't want to know.
It'd be worse if you didn't know.
Yeah, I'm fine with right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I was excited to do this. This is awesome. Right at 11 o'clock, I was setting everything up. Like, this is going to be sweet.
And then I didn't call for a few hours. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Got really mad. Took it out on the cat.
You need to learn how to handle. That cat was screaming in the background.
Yeah, we were all pissed.
I don't know if fear is learned or not, but I feel like it's a deep down.
I think it is.
Yeah, deep down instinct.
I think it's instinct and it's learned, and like many things, what you feed grows. So if you're feeding your fears, I think they get worse. If you're not expanding yourself, I think you're working backwards.
Yeah.
So if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards because everything's moving. Nothing's stagnant.
It's just moving something from one place to another. That's all life is.
That's all life is. Just moving something from one place to another.
Life lessons, moving tables around at Brio.
And moving food and soda. And then we move money. And then we move physically. Drive to work. It's everything. What else were we going to talk about? Oh, Thanksgiving. What's your theory on Thanksgiving, Maria? We're supposed to talk turkey.
It's a weird holiday. Is it a secular holiday? Was Thanksgiving considered a secular holiday? Right, because like everyone celebrates it, right?
Yeah, I think it's just an American holiday.
I think it's a purposely only American holiday. I guess it makes sense. But it is also it's a weird holiday.
I'm just anti-tradition.
You eat and eat until you fall asleep and wake up and eat some more. You're supposed to
Unless that's yourself. What we turned it into. Maybe originally it wasn't like that.
Thanksgiving Day is a national holiday celebrated on various dates in the United States. Okay, we don't care about the location. It's been celebrated as a secular holiday.
Okay. Secular holiday.
There you go.
Well, I think it's supposed to be about how bountiful the harvest is. So that's why people overload and overdo it for Thanksgiving.
Here's the history. Prayers of thanks and special Thanksgiving ceremonies are common among almost all religions after harvest and at other times. The Thanksgiving holiday's history in North America is rooted in English traditions dating from the Protestant Reformation. It also has aspects of a harvest festival, even though the harvest in New England occurs well before the late November. Okay, what is it? In the English tradition, days of thanks.
It's a made-up stupid holiday. It's just a made-up stupid holiday.
English Reformation, the reign of Henry VIII. What?
If everybody was truly thankful and was grateful, that'd be fine. We should be like that, I think, every day.
Yeah, but you should be thankful
that's what's silly about this.
Every day.
Yeah, every day. And grateful every day.
It's kind of ironic.
One day.
It's kind of ironic all the stress that comes from Thanksgiving.
Steve holiday. You know, like when Steve go to church and brag about it, you'd be like, well, you can just do that on your own. Like you don't need to go to church. So Thanksgiving is a Steve holiday.
Steve is our number one listener, and now we're gonna have to censor that. It's a Steve holiday. No. Unfiltered. Yeah, it's a show.
It's a braggart holiday.
It's nice to get friends together, family, people you get along with, and eat. It doesn't matter what day it is.
People don't.
No.
Thanksgiving is a day where people get together when they don't want to get together and they fight.
And which is ironic because you're supposed to be thankful. just for breathing, but you're getting upset that so-and-so they put marshmallows in the sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
You don't like marshmallows in the sweet potatoes
People
either,
ask
do you?
you what you're doing with your life. Like, I'm having my parents over for Thanksgiving, my brother, my sister, and I think we'll be fine. I invited my husband's parents, but they said, no, absolutely not. But we can come to see them. And I was like, nah, I'm good. It's just a power play. Like, it's not a power play. You guys can come over here and I'll cook for you. That's all it is.
No, it's a trap.
Cook for lots of people. Now it's a trap.
Yeah, how annoying is that? You do something good, then it's like held in the back of everyone's mind, like what was done for each other, and it's all just used against you. People don't just do things for the sake of doing them.
See, that does suck. And that's another thing. Like, when we talk about like what makes relationships last, and then I'll say honesty. Like, you have to be 100% honest with your friends and family.
I thought having the upper hand, always doing more so that you could use it against them.
that is how
I cleaned the kitchen. I swept.
I mean, that's how I manipulate Glenn and Luke all the time, is by holding up that I changed their diapers when they were babies.
Yeah, you learned early, Maria.
Shut up, Luke.
That was me. That was Josh.
Shut up, Josh. But no, Thanksgiving's just a fake holiday where we gather around to watch a parade on TV.
I forgot about that.
How can you forget about the parade, Luke? It's as American as apple pie.
I'm Josh, Maria. Do we sound that similar?
I think it's funny on Thanksgiving we watch a parade full of pride.
Yeah.
Luke, I don't think we ever really watched the parade when we were growing up because we always woke up too late.
True.
I don't think I've ever watched it either. The only knowledge I have of it is from Seinfeld. That's it.
Yeah, I think we
There's
watched
an
like little
episode.
bits and pieces of it, but we never actually watched it because we were asleep still.
Well, I never understood it
That's great.
anyways. I thought I had to like it.
Right, that's how I felt with sports. How uncomfortable is it when you're in a room with someone, because you're a guy, they just start talking about sports with you?
I tell them I don't
Yeah.
understand what
I
this is.
know, but people just start the conversation. Like,
No, that is weird when you get forced to talk about sports talk or politics. People love to bring politics up at these kind of gatherings.
I have fun with that, though.
You would have fun with that.
It's at least because politics come down to foundation, moral, ethics, and then it's like a little puzzle too. You can play with, I don't know, you can get people to see different sides of things, or at least try, and that's the fun in it.
The interesting thing is that's why free speech is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Any country that doesn't have it, that's why a lot of things don't work out. It's just like the one radical side wins, if you want to call it. But like, see, that's what makes America great, because we have free speech, but they want to try to get rid of that.
We want to hear all the crazy ideas and pick the ones that we like. This is a good idea. You don't want to silence any.
Rallies.
At what rallies?
There is no free speech.
At what rallies?
Presidential rallies. They have a speech zone. There is no free speech allowed at a presidential rally. You can only say what the narrative is. You can only hold up positive signs. You can't hold up anything criticizing the president. Any presidential rally, there's no free speech. So like all the rallies where you see Obama at, or Bush at, or Trump at, all the people there have signed something that said that they will only say good things about the president.
Can you imagine?
And if they do,
you know how they always have
if they go against it, they can be prosecuted.
prosecuted for what?
Yeah, for having free speech. Yeah. Tell me that's not messed up.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. We need free speech. We need to hear dissenting opinions, people that differ.
That's the only way people can grow.
Right.
Honestly, that's how you grow.
Because it's not about being right. It's about challenging yourself.
But I found that out about the Trump rally. So everyone's always like, well, Trump has several supporters. Like, yeah, they don't allow anyone there who's not. And if they say anything, they get pulled out and they get prosecuted. They can have jail time, like serious jail time.
Do you know how there's the signs behind them that say women for Trump, blacks for Trump, and all that? Can you imagine if someone's just like, he's all right. It's okay. I don't love him. He's done some good statistics.
Well, I like when people still like try to support Clinton and they're like, Clinton was a great president. I was like, he raped several women. Like, don't forget this, guys. Like, keep this in mind.
It was a different time.
Well, people say that he didn't.
Yeah, it's like it didn't matter because the media didn't get upset about it then. Now that the media gets upset and it's Trump, it's more of a Kardashian show right now than it was then.
You see what you want to believe.
Yeah, well, like
you
the
see what
whole
you want.
Jeffrey Epstein thing, and they're saying that Clinton was involved and Trump was involved. And then I have a family member who's a very big Trump supporter, and they're like, well, Trump kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago, Florida resort because he was sexually assaulting a girl. And I was like, okay, let me look into this. So I look into it. the girl filed a complaint against Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein because she said they both harassed her. They both presented themselves naked to her, and they both put her in very uncomfortable positions, and she was 17 years old. So she sued both of them, but Trump got rid of Epstein because I guess he dropped the case against Epstein because he paid her off more. And I presented this to the family member, and she's like, well, no, Trump can't do any wrong. He would never do that. And I'm like, you don't know him. He's a man in power. You really telling me?
Wait, so she dropped she dropped the charges because they paid her off?
Epstein paid her off.
So if you pay somebody well enough, then they don't care.
He settled.
Right.
He settled out of court. He settled. I'll say that way. Yeah, he settled out of court.
I mean, with enough money, it doesn't matter what you do to somebody.
You could read the whole court transcripts of what she said happened to her, and it's graphic. And it was between both those guys. They both did this.
It does matter though, because then it affects your soul.
Like that stuff is a shame.
But everyone's up to make their own choices.
Yeah.
People don't actually get away with this stuff.
I hope not. Like, I really hope that karma does exist in a way that people don't get away with anything.
I believe it's immediate. I think it affects people right away. A part of them dies. They're less them, and now they have to live more of a lie. And anytime you're speaking less truth and more lies, there's no way you could live a fulfilling life or have a life without anxiety and depression, because your whole life now is living a lie. And that just gives me anxiety just imagining it.
I do think there are some people that they
don't get that.
Well, not that they don't. If they really don't care, they have no remorse, they're going to live a happy life while they're here. Even though they're doing all that awful stuff, they're happy. I talked to Megan at work. She feels if you're a type of person that does something and you have guilt, you have this burden now, bad things happen to you. But if you do things and you have no guilt about what you did, doesn't matter how bad it is, nothing bad happens to you. Like that seems to have, I see that in people because you have a conscience. You have more those certain values that you know.
I have my own values.
You know are wrong, but if somebody does, I really don't care. They don't have a destructive life after that. They might hurt someone.
So if they live
themselves.
If they live without the guilt, then they're fine.
Yeah, I can see that. It's the energy you put out there. If you put out the energy that you don't feel guilt and you don't think you did wrong, then yeah, that's not what you're putting out there. You're not going to get it back. They just interviewed that Duchess who thought that Prince Albert trying to solicit sex from a 14-year-old was fine because the 14-year-old is prostituting. So it's completely fine if he tries to get a 14-year-old to have sex with him if she's prostituting herself. Well, and like that's what she honestly thought.
It's true that
she didn't think there was anything wrong.
Right. The most evil comes in through something seemingly good. You know, like the people in that movie No Safe Spaces, people are protesting and they think they're doing something good. You know, they're not like out there, we're going to screw up this country right now. No, they think they're doing something good.
They believe in it.
Right. So.
Yeah, well, that's how Hitler got his whole system going. He thought he was doing good for his country. He thought he was doing good for the fatherland.
Mm-hmm. Right. So just because you think you're doing good and don't have the guilt, meaningless.
Yeah, that's true. That's an interesting thing to think of it. If you think you're doing good. Well, like, what's that girl's name? Greta, the one who just screamed at people like, how dare you?
She is a hero.
And people, I actually heard people honestly say to my face that she's a hero. And I was like, no, she's not. She's a puppet.
How dare you?
She's a puppet.
Yeah.
Like, she has not done anything to help out the environment.
She's just angry, and people like the passion. People like her passion.
People fall for that.
Yeah.
People fall for that so much.
It's the same thing like being at work and looking angry. People are like, oh, he must be busy. You know, you look frustrated. Oh, I'm not going to ask him to do the favor.
Just leave that person alone.
Business.
Well, all I've learned today from this episode is that feminism's a terrible thing and that good people are bad. And I like it.
Good people are bad. Well, yeah. Thanksgiving's full of chaos and stuffing, and neither me or Luke like marshmallows in the sweet potatoes.
So, guys, I'm sending you a marshmallow sweet potato casserole for Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Maria. Hey, and thanks for buying 2 cups. That's why we had you on the podcast, stranger.
So anyone can buy their way into this because you guys are just a
just if you want to be on the podcast, just buy 2 cups. We never even introduced her.
Yeah, I'm giving one of those cups to Chris to drink his pink wine out of at the end of the night.
Nice.
So you should also buy him some Black Rifle coffee because on our website, joshandluketalking.com, there's a link where you get 20% off.
But I thought you were supposed to get money for that. Is that a real thing or not?
Yeah, we're supposed to get a little kickback, but we haven't seen it yet. But I'm sure they'll hook it up eventually.
I'll see what happens. All right. Well, my friend is going over, so I'm going to hang out with her now.
All right. Well, thanks
It
for
was
being
fun
here,
talking to you
Maria.
guys.
And we'll do it again.
I miss both of you terribly, and I will do this any other time.
Sweet.
I miss Josh more than I miss Luke. Just
I don't know how to handle compliments. Thanks,
All
Maria.
right, guys. All right. I'll see you. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
And enjoy the rest of your days off, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
All right, so I guess we should introduce Maria now.
Yeah.
Or say goodbye. Yeah, we'll say goodbye first. Okay. Should we mention the coffee cups and the coffee?
You already did.
Yeah, true. All right, I hope you liked the podcast with Maria being the guest. Definitely forgot to introduce who she was. She's Luke's sister. Older sister? Older sister. Doesn't matter. We'll have a nice picture of her right here so you could see her. If you have any questions or comments or anything you want to leave, let us know. Josh and Luke Talking at gmail.com. On our website, joshandluketalking.com. You can listen to us on any of the platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google, all that. We also have a link for 20% off Black Rifle Coffee. They give us a little kickback if you use our referral code on our website. We're also selling coffee mugs, waiting for ours to come in. They didn't come in yet, but they look pretty cool. That's actually the first link on our website, so definitely check that out if you want to support us. I've heard the price might be steep, but it's pretty much just a donation so we could get more coffee. It's a full cycle. You buy a coffee cup, you buy coffee, we get more coffee. It's just about the coffee. Mm-hmm. So thanks for checking us out. I hope you like the talk with Maria. Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good.
We're good. All right. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Peace out.
Yeah, have a good day.
Bye.